Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth with Life on Fire, and I have a very, very unique episode of Life on Fire TV where my good friend, and she was my coach for a bit, Suzanne Evans, where we put on this event called The Green Room. And within the Green Room, it was invite only, and the only people that could come to this private mastermind was entrepreneurs that have seven-figure businesses where events, we're hosting just big, huge events that change people's lives, where if that was the backbone of their business, and if that was their primary focus was doing events, and they have a seven-figure business and they're millionaires. So what we did is we had about 40 people all came together for this event called The Green Room. And what you're about to see is this exercise where we went to every single table, every single person shared the number one strategy, their biggest win, their number one strategy that 10x'd their business, that led to the most growth possible in their business. And imagine what you're about to hear. You're about to go and hear from table to table. Everyone voted on who had the best strategy to grow your business, and you're going to get the fruit of that. It's going to be just like you were there. You're going to get to hear for every single table their number one strategy that they voted on that was used to grow their business, to break and smash past $1 million. So stay tuned, stay with us, and you're gonna learn the number one strategy from a bunch of awesome top high-level entrepreneurs, and we'll see you soon. Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and I'm a kick-ass business coach, and I'm on an absolute mission to help you find your purpose in life, to help you love what you do for work every single day, to help you be the rock star that you are meant to be, to make more money than you ever thought was possible, and to have more time freedom so you can actually enjoy the life that you're living. I'm here to help you set your life on fire.
So my thing was OPN, other people's networks. I figured out quite a long time ago that if I keep trying to fish my own pond, it gets outfished pretty quickly. So I created a 5-minute video blog, and so I asked people if they would be interviewed for the blog, and there's no strings attached, there's no requirement for reciprocation. But what I found is it immediately, very quickly creates a very high level of rapport with this other person who has a network I might be interested in, and I have a network probably they're going to be interested in. So we do the 5-minute video interview. It's very intense. I ask them to supply the tight on 3 questions so we can get their message across, drive traffic back to their landing page, but both of us grow our lists, both of us add value to our network. So it's a very good way of keeping the brand and the brain until they're ready to buy. Plus, it all opens up the opportunity after the interview to talk about other opportunities to, support each other's launches or whatever else. So OPN, it creates an inexhaustible supply of fresh leads, and we have a KPI to do one of those every single week so that for the year we're building the list and regularly creating this network. That's it.
Basically, steal something from Alex's book. About 15 years ago, we started something by accident. It was doing teleseminars and as an intro to our live events. And we didn't realize the power of it. We were figuring out a few minutes ago, we've done about $25 million in sales from starting with a very simple teleseminar. So the whole point of why we did it at the beginning was we didn't want to pay for the events, we didn't do the space, we just wanted to get people in the door. So knowing you want to get people later to a live event where they're more comfortable, when they show up ready to go and they already know who you are, they already understand the deal. By doing an event, we've been doing call to action every single month for about 15 years right now. And basically all it is a 5-day, very simple teleseminar, 2 hours a day, not asking for a large commitment out of people, about $500. 70% of the people will spend $2,000 to $7,000 every single month we've been doing it. So the reason it works so well is we're getting people comfortable, they're in their own home. Technology fucks things up a lot of times. You gotta get on the computer, this is a freaking phone. And it's not complicated, anybody can use it. I also know that our upgrade percentages are higher when you're on the physical phone versus having to be in front of a computer and Skype and all that other stuff. So that's huge. The other thing is we're prepping them for when they show up to our events. So when you were asking about cancellations and chargebacks, we don't have those at all because they make a commitment to us that when they continue on with our courses, they don't sign a contract with us, they do sign a contract. But it's also built in with guilt, obligation, and congruency. Meaning that basically if you don't follow through on what you say you're going to do, that's going to show up in your business, it's going to show up in your life. And that's not just sales pitch, that's really truthful stuff. So we don't have a challenge with that. So the whole point why they wanted me to bring this up is it's been proven since 2003 we've been doing this and it gets better and better every single year. Our stay on rate is 98% of the people that start the course on Sunday stay on through Thursday, and referral marketing from it is amazing. And we've done that. I've spent $150 on ads online. So we did that all off of just literally pumping people through that program. It fills all of our courses and we never have to worry about who's going to be in the room.
My share was based upon the question, which was, what have you done in your business to 10x it? And the most the highest strategies. And there's been so many. And I kind of took a 30,000 foot altitude based upon my observation of thousands of businesses, not just chiropractors, but businesses I've done or seen and been around in the 18 that I've started. And it's really the visionary component of assuring that you've got a plan. And most of us just start rocking and rolling, and we count the zeros and the decimal points, and we know we're succeeding because clients are happy and our bank accounts get filled. But if I meet another empty entrepreneur, I'm going to punch them in the throat because we get involved in the chase and we forget why we're chasing. And so it's a different strategy. I get that it's completely sideways, especially from something that's so technical and strategic, and then I'm taking notes and I'm going to do that. But if you've ever built a home, it's all design, man. It's not build. It's the design. And the reason people walk into your house and go, oh my God, is not because who built it. It's the vision that designed it. And we tend to get real monocular about what we want our business to do. And I've clearly defined it. I shared with the table that I have a lot of different purposes as being a husband and a father and a friend and a leader and a mentor. But the purpose of my business is to fund my personal life, period. So if I've clearly defined my personal life, I'm spending 3 months in Indonesia at the end of the year with my wife, just my wife and I, 3 months. How do you do that? Well, that's my vision, that's my goal. So I'm going to build a business that's automated, that has funnels, that has lots of teleseminars. And I'm going to make sure that I structure myself so when I finally get there, I'm actually not just an entrepreneur with a successful company. I'm an entrepreneur with a successful life, which to me is a hell of a lot more impressive than hanging out with rich people that don't have anything anymore. So it's really, again, it's kind of one of those preachy things. We all understand vision, but you know what? We spend more time planning our trip to Disneyland than we do planning our entire life and our business. And it should be like you building a custom home, man. You got to sit down and clarify everything so when you get there, you can literally celebrate and be fulfilled.
So the big thing that we did this last year with my Inside Edge conference is we changed the formula of how to do the offer. And so I walked on stage day one, first session. The room had been filled with pink elephants everywhere. And I walked on stage and basically asked how many people had been to events where they know the sales offer is coming at day two at some point. And you're sort of dreading it. There's that stress factor. And I said, well, we're not going to do that. I'm going to give you the offer right now. And the room broke out into applause. Vanessa was there. We had people standing up cheering that we were going to do that. And so I gave the offer, and we had bonuses that went away every day. So, day one, you got all 3 bonuses. Day 2, you got 2 bonuses. Day 3, you got 1 bonus. And it gave my sales team 3 days to sell, which was great because we have a room full of 400 and plus business owners. And so it was really great for us, and it relieved a lot of pressure off of me. It took some of that stress off because honestly, as I was saying over here, it's like, I need some tips on the speak to sell thing because that formula has never really worked for me. So this was really great because I could be myself, I could be very authentic, and we created an environment where people felt that they could actually have genuine conversations and there wasn't that high pressure, although we had our highest conversions ever. And I know, so it kind of upended the strategy a little bit. It was a huge breakthrough for us. And not only that, but the people who we got all stuck. We didn't have anybody back out. They all signed their contract while they were at the event. And we had great deposits, and the program is the best quality people that we've ever had. And it was, I think, partly because we took a different way to do it. So that's what my strategy is.
Okay, 21 years as an event marketer, 3 problems. They're all C's: curriculum, cash, and case studies. Not having enough of each and getting guesswork for each. And I think we've solved the problem. I have 2,000 hours of curriculum, and we wanted to come out with a surefire way to get rid of those 3 problems. And so 3 years ago, we decided to do beta testing. And a beta course means you can screw it up and it's still okay. It means that everyone else can give you feedback. You don't call them modules, you call them lessons. Instead of having a live event and costing a lot of money, you have virtual events, open office hours, use Facebook comments so that they can give you feedback. And then eventually, by the time you launch the event, you have ambassadors, you have hosts instead of participants, and they actually become affiliate partners. So the most important C of the 3, curriculum, you know what to say, right? And with cash, you get the cash and you Hopefully you don't pay it on, for IRS, you keep it. But the third thing is case studies. You actually have case studies at your event who can get on stage and give testament to how this worked. And so the beta concept, a beta course, we've done 3 of them, we just take off a 0. So if it's $2,500, it's $250. If it's $10,000, it's now $1,000. And Push Button Influence, those of you who are supporting us, we had a beta, and we had 80 people go through it. We funded it, we financed it, and all our case studies are coming from that. All of the stories, all the narratives from the stories are coming from those beta testers, and they're so excited, they're telling the world, and it's so simple. So I was thinking about coming up with a course, Beta Test Secrets, and just having a course on how to do beta testing. Do it virtually. Just be collaborative. Don't even try to teach. Call them lessons, not modules. And if you screw up, it's okay because they're expecting it.
I'm really big on flex time, and so I take a week off every single month, and so that changes my productivity. So what I started to do is I started to do Bring a Friend contests. And my Bring a Friend contest, to give you an idea, we had 220 people show up from our Bring a Friend contest. We had a 70% close in the room at my last event. And with that being said, I had 0 stress filling the room. And so how we do it and do it well is, first of all, I have a group of clients that think really differently, they're highly productive, and they're low drama. And so they've dropped all their friends that are a pain in the ass, and they've gotten new friends. And so we attract their friends, and we create contests for them that are highly beneficial for our clients. So prizes might be things like, could be a VIP day with me. However, speaking on my stage for 20 minutes and I'll help you craft your offer, allowing them to do a room drop without like a paid offer, but like a lead gen room drop. I pick prizes that are really good for my tribe right now. So things that they're working on right now. So a lot of my tribe is really getting out there and speaking right now. And so, pick prizes like that, they go after it. However, it takes about 2 weeks to get them going. In those 2 weeks, you treat it like a product launch. So you are really gearing towards them, like sending out 2 emails a day. On your conference calls, you're sharing, hey, are you playing it before we get going? You are guilting them a little bit in the essence of, why would you actually give up the opportunity to speak on my stage? Would you rather pay me $20,000 or would you just like to win this? But what's critical is I've done this contest a bunch of times now, and the contest does not work very well unless you tell them what the ideal Bring a Friend is. That was a huge mistake I made, and people played the contest and won that brought people that weren't liable, people. So with that being said, if you have any questions about it, I'm happy to share with you our pages. It's very simple, it works very well, and it's highly effective.
So I'm going to actually do something that's very, 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 very tactical, but they seem to like, so hopefully you like it too. So, disclaimer, I'm not a traffic guy. If you want to talk about your hardcore traffic strategies, this is your man here. However, I'm a pretty quick learner. And so early last year, I was promoting, I wrote a blog post about an event I went to. It was a review, kind of my opinion on that event. And then I did a plug for a lead magnet. It's a 10-day boot camp that eventually leads to a $27 ebook, and then they go down the rabbit hole in my funnel. So I shared this post on my fan page and actually boosted it. So I just did the blue button where you boost a post. Everybody knows about what that is? So I was boosting a post. Now, I wrote this blog post with no intention of really selling many of these ebooks. And so I just wanted people to share it. I wanted people to read it and share it. And so I boosted it for $20 and $60 over the course of 3 days. And it was getting a lot of engagement, a lot of shares, likes, people comment, people tagging their friends in the comments. There was a lot of engagement in this post. I was like, oh, great, I'm just gonna keep boosting it. But I wasn't really, again, still not thinking of sales. I just wanted the readership exposure and kind of just get that audience up. At the same time, I see that my sales are ticking up in our system, but I actually, at the time, I didn't connect it to it. It took me 3 days to figure out that the sales were actually coming from this blog post. And so what I essentially figured out is that Facebook sucks. It's great for when you're sharing content and using a content marketing strategy or native advertising strategy to promote stuff. And so what was happening is I kept boosting the post and I kept making money. And so I was boosting this blog post, and the key thing here was the ad was not written like an ad. It was written as if I was sharing it on my own personal newsfeed, on my own personal page. And so I wrote it that way. I didn't split test. It was the only ad I wrote. It was the only copy I wrote. And so I just kept boosting it and boosting it. Eventually, I learned enough about Facebook where I actually entered the ads manager and figured out, okay, this is called the page post engagement ad. I kept boosting this so more people can read it. The comments were off the charts. The likes were off the charts. I got hundreds of comments, 5,000 likes, over 1,000 shares of this blog post that kept making me money. And so, long story short, by sharing this blog post that eventually, after they got all the way down to the bottom, they can opt in and then opt in for a $27 ebook. Over the course of 6 months, I spent about $9,000 in advertising and made over $140,000 in revenue from that one blog post, one ad, by boosting that blue button. And so there's 2 keys to making this work. I told you one. One was that it has to be great content, it has to be natural. It basically has to be an unadvertising, anti-advertising type of approach. And the other thing is, once they opted into my list and were presented with the $27 ebook offer, there was a timer on the sales letter, and it basically gave them an hour to read the sales letter. And so we have videos of, screen capture videos of people going through our checkout process where they're going through our unoptimized funnel for mobile, where they're zooming in and out, side scrolling, doing this, reading the entire blog post, reading our entire sales letter, going through the checkout page, which was not optimized for mobile. So they're side scrolling, zooming in and out, punching in their credit card information, zooming back out so they can make sure they filled out everything. And so obviously the offer was good, but what made people so motivated to want to buy despite our unoptimized checkout process was that the content we were sharing on Facebook, and I kept boosting it, was really good and engaging. It provided them lots of value. And so primarily, that's my primary lead generation strategy now. I was generating over 100 leads a day from that one ad, and ended up making quite a bit of money from that one ad. And so now we've expanded it. Now I use Ads Manager religiously and not just boosting posts, but that's just my basic Facebook strategy.
I'm here to help you set your life on fire.